Uh, can somebody summarize your yesterday's learning? What are the takeaways from yesterday's session? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can any one of you summarize what are your takeaways yesterday?
Sir, we learned about project management and agile project management, and there are 5 steps of project management, which is initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and closing. Monitoring and closing, we are calling it in 2 steps, but it is basically interlinked and it is counted as 1 step.
Okay.
And we learned about what is program and what is project.
Hmm.
Um, Basically, number of projects coordinated together is called a program. And apart from that, we discussed a case study about DMRC.
Okay. What are your takeaways from DMRC? Delhi Metro. What are your takeaways? In India, we were able to complete the project on time.
So yes, in Delhi DMRC project, we learned that if we are completing a project within the time limit, then we are benefiting many things like once the time limit is shortened, like it used to take 10 years, but they completed it in 7 years. So they save time as well as money on that.
And apart from that, people started using metros 3 years in advance.
Yes, sir.
That is the benefit to the society.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So I'm very happy that there are some good takeaways. So I will take you to the today's session. Today I will be introducing you to the topic lean management. Some people call it lean manufacturing. Yes,
Yes.
it was born and brought up in manufacturing company, but now lean is widely used in all the organizations, whether it is IT, ITES, or BFSI, whatnot. Today, if you go and put Lean Six Sigma, you find more number of opportunities from BFSI and all the consulting companies, Accenture, KPMG, everywhere we have got lot of opportunities. Okay, today we will talk about Lean. Once we complete Lean, tomorrow we will talk about Six Sigma, and tomorrow end of the session we'll talk about Lean Six Sigma also. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So be active and have fun. So objective for today's sessions are understand the quality journey. Where did we start our quality journey? And introduction to management, where I will mainly share my 19 years of experience in carrying out lean transformation. We will not get into the advanced tools, we will get into the medium and lean foundational tools and technique that would be sufficient for you. And yesterday I shared with you one lean case study on Nokia project. In the end, we will have some 15 minutes discussion on that to see whether the theory and practice are one and the same. Are there any differences? Can somebody tell what has changed over past 30 years in any business? What is your answer?
Sir, the technology. Technology has changed over past 30 years. Before, we were using traditional mechanism in cars, automobiles. Now we are using, auto parking, auto driving facilities, and there is battery operated vehicles. So people are going more greener to the environment over the years with help of technology.
With the help of technology, yes, technology is one thing.
Automation has made manufacturing easier.
Automation has happened. Yes, you are correct. So the business environment has changed now. Culture has become local to global culture. In 30 years ago, When the economy was restricted, we had only Indian people working in Indian organization. Today, if you join any organization like the company where I worked, Nokia, Rolls-Royce, and all, we used to have people from 100 nationalities, different cultures. And there was a time, I don't know, you people may not be aware about this. We used to book for gas connection and wait for 2-3 years to get the gas connection. The same is the case for landline. Book the landline connection for telephone connection, wait for 6 months, 1 year to get telephone connection at your home. Which means that was producer driven. But today it is customer driven. Nobody is going to wait for 3 months to get any telephone connection. Go on the spot. If BSNL is not giving, Airtel is there. Airtel is service is poor, we switch over to Vodafone. Opportunities are there. So now it has become a customer driven quality. And needs of the workforce are changing. Those days, if you see, you have to go to office, work for minimum 8 hours. Even today, some of the organizations are having this kind of practices. If you are late by 5 minutes, your 15 minutes salary will be deducted. But today, people are working from home. Forget about Corona. Before Corona itself, big changes took place. Technology upgradation and breakthrough technology, both of you mentioned in the beginning itself. And today, Corona, that is making lot of changes in everybody's life. So why do we have this online certification course on business process improvement, where I intend to cover project management, lean, Six Sigma, theory of constraint, and design thinking. Why do we need this concept? If you look at supplier market, in any organization, to produce the part, you need raw materials. Where do you buy your raw material? You get raw material from your suppliers. Your supplier is increasing the raw material prices. Why? Because land price is increasing. He has to pay for warehouses and other thing. So supplier says, year on year, give me a rise in the raw material cost. What is top management is telling? Reduce inventory. Inventory is sleeping money. And reduce the manufacturing cost. If I can save the manufacturing cost, I can sell my product at low cost. I can keep customer happy and I can get more customers. And the customer wants zero defects. Something like reduce the customer complaint, reduce the internal rejection as well. That is where concept like zero defects and all came into practice. What are the demands from the customers? Customers are always demanding, no doubt. Customer want lower price product, shorter lead time, variety in small numbers, and good quality, it goes without saying. And product life cycle is very short. Something like mobile phone and all, average lifetime is 9 months. Most of the people are changing their mobile phone once in 9 months. So organization, they have to introduce new product. It's short product cycle time. That is where concept like design thinking comes into place. And design thinking evolved only over past 10 years. Most of the people from the other institutes, they may not be even aware about design thinking. Lean Six Sigma theory of constraint, yes, everybody knows about this because these concepts are close to 30 years old. But design thinking is evolving now. And requirement of the capital market. If I want to run my factory, first I need money. If you want money, you can go and borrow from bank. But getting money from the bank is really a difficult task. And direct financing from stock market, it is also not easy. Only reputed companies can go for IPO and they can raise money, not all. So, if you look at this, already organizations are struggling. They have to meet the competing demand. One side, supplier is asking, give me rice for the raw material. Other side, customer is asking, decrease the product cost. Same time, management has to give bonus, hike, salary, and salary increment to everybody in the organization. What can management do? This was the condition we are into for past few years. But now, Corona came, another surprise. So all these concepts are applicable to production, HR. I have done number of Lean Six Sigma project in HR and finance, marketing, product development, IT and ITES, construction. Sometimes people implement, they call it lean project management. They want to complete the project very fast. So they started using something called lean project management, CCPM, critical project management, all kind of things. Accounting, lot of government organizations in abroad are using lean. Even Indian government officials, when Mr. Narendra Modi took over as the Prime Minister of the country, he bought a Goldratt Theory of Constraint book and he gave it to IAS officers in his PMO to read. And in hospitality industry, like hospital and all, if you go and put case studies, Lean Six Sigma, USA, lot of hospitals and banks are using Lean Six Sigma to reduce the patient turnover time or to service the customer in bank. Everywhere people are started using Lean Six Sigma. Healthcare and the list continues. So Lean Six Sigma theory of constraint design thinking, a concept applicable to any process, any organization. Wherever you are going to work, you will see people are implementing this concept. If you don't implement the concept, organization will not make money, people will not have sustained employment. So it becomes mandatory now. So by doing these kind of projects, by applying this kind of business process improvement methodology, what do you get? You can improve the safety of your company. Last time accident, zero accident, you will improve your quality, you will reduce the rework, you will reduce the scrap and save the money. Delivery will happen on time. As per your plan, you will manufacture the product and your labor productivity will increase. Labor productivity will increase and you will reduce the energy cost, you will reduce the supply cost and the employee morale will increase. Absenteeism will come down, turnover will come down, people will come out with a lot of ideas for improvement, Kaizen ideas. Kaizens are small doable things which will bring improvement in organization, often without money investment. So these are small improvements, Kaizen. Even sometimes Kaizen will become radical improvement. We call it Kaikaku. Kaikaku means radical improvement. 5 days, the team assemble, carry out all the improvement and they bring in big saving to the organization. That we call it week-long Kaizen events or gold standard Kaizen events. You are with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Because I am not hearing any sound, that's what I thought I will check with you. Because webinar, it becomes very difficult. So if you look at quality journey, in the year 1920 to 1940, Ford introduced Ford production system. That is mass production system. If you produce more, you are making use of your fixed asset. You can make more money. So produce, mass production. And in the year 1940 and 60, statistical process control concept was brought into practice. So we are detecting the poor quality product only after manufacturing. Can we detect the non quality product during manufacturing so that we can avoid producing bad quality product? That is the place people introduced Sievert introduced process control charts. Then in the year 1960s, companies like Toyota introduced a concept called just in time. I'm going to produce 100 cars today. Raw material for 100 cars will arrive only today morning. It will not come yesterday. They receive the parts now, they manufacture, and they will deliver the car today evening itself. But in the COVID environment, there is lot of debates going on whether just in time is still applicable in COVID kind of environment, because COVID brought in lot of, you can have a lot of changes, because in the normal stable condition you place the order, vehicle will come and deliver. In corona time, getting the transport vehicle is a problem, and state government, some of the state governments are not allowing, lot of issues were there. So people are telling, during corona time, really do we need just in time? Just in case, whatever comes in the vehicle, let it come. If you tell I am going to manufacture only 10, you give me 10. If you tell your supplier will say, sorry, I am not getting vehicle. If you want to take 100, you take 100. Because supplier is facing the problem with transportation and other thing. So just in time now is being used, but during corona time, the usage of just in time is very less. But it will come back after corona. And after again in the year 1960s, concept called total quality control introduced in Japan. This was focused on customer and employee satisfaction, total quality management control. Somehow American did not like the word control, total quality control. They replaced the word control with management. That's why people now started calling total quality management. Then beyond 1985, ISO concept came, business process re-engineering, value engineering, value analysis came, mainly for quality improvement and cost reduction. 1990 and beyond, concept like TOC, Lean, Six Sigma, project management, TOC, theory of inventory problem solving came into picture to improve safety, quality, productivity, delivery, cost, and employee morale. Today we talk about integrated value chain, digital 4.0 or industry 4.0. This is how quality journey evolved. So today's topic is we are going to learn about lean management. Lean is not new. It was there in Toyota 30 years ago. People started implementing a lot of activities. Then somebody studied all the activities and gave a name. We can call all these activities put together, we can call it lean. So lean evolved over 30 years of practice in Toyota shop floor. And lean mainly aims to eliminate waste. In Japan, they call it Muda. Waste is there in production, waste is there in customer relation, waste is there in product design, supplier network, HR and business administration. Waste is there everywhere. Something like you called your Airtel customer care, they put you on hold. You are there on the call for say 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, the telephone executive talks to you for a minute or two to resolve your problem. In lean language, we say your 5 minutes waiting time is a waste. The 1 or 2 minute conversation what you have with that telephone executive is the value added time. This is the case in every process. Goal of the lean is to give output with less effort, less inventory, less time to develop product and less space. And the end of the day, lean, what do you call value? You are doing some activity. If that activity adds value in the form of fit, form, function to the product, and customer is ready to pay for that. That is called value. So lean or Six Sigma or design thinking or TOC, everything starts with the customer and ends with the customer. So in the year 1990, these three people, Womack, Jones and Rose, wrote a book. That book is called The Machine That Changed the World. This is the place, first time in the history, people used lean. The machine is nothing but lean. Lean has changed the world. Then afterwards, gold in the mine, lean thinking, Toyota way, Toyota field book, Toyota product development, Toyota way of developing talent, and Toyota ways in sales and marketing. I think somebody is talking. Who is that? You can see. Who is talking? Some background noises are coming. Hello? It's okay?
Yes.
Okay. So later on, Toyota, some people studied how did Toyota implement Lean and Six Sigma in sales and marketing. There was a nice book on that. There is a 5-step methodology how we can make use of Lean and Six Sigma in sales and marketing. And lot of other books are there. But to know more about Lean, you can start with Machine That Change World. But in my case, I started with Lean thinking. Then I moved like this. Then I read. Then afterwards, I read a lot of other books too. So Lean and Toyota production systems are one and the same. They are not different. So when people studied Toyota production system, they presented in the model. That model is called house model. Anything you put it in like this, you call it house model. So here if you look at this, it has got two pillars. Toyota production system has got two pillars. One is just in time, other one is Jidoka, automation with human touch. That means built-in quality. Process has to produce good quality product. To produce good quality product, we are making use of Poka-yoke, mistake proofing. Stop the line and make use of YY analysis. And there should be a harmony between the machine and man. They called it Jidoka. The another pillar is just in time. Tag time. Suppose you have got 8 hours in a factory. Customer wants 8 product in a day. Factory is working on only 1 8-hour shift. Then how do you calculate your tag time? Customer demand divided by your total available time. Customer demand is 8. Total available time is 8 hours. It becomes 1 hour. But when we express tag time, customer demand by total available time, we will not mention this in hours. We will tell in seconds. We will this many seconds it would take. So don't use the word hours while telling tag time. Make use of the word seconds. Customer demand divided by total available time. Then one piece flow. In batch manufacturing, you do say 100 pieces in every batch. If something wrong happens, you have to reject all the 100. If you make one and move one, if the next process says there is a problem, you are going to reject only one piece. That is the place concept like one piece flow came. And downstream pull. Unless your customer gives order, you will not produce. These are the two pillars. Then tools like 5S, visual controls, Kanban, single minute exchange of die, TPM, 3P, and we need suggestions from people. These are the things are mandatory. And 5S is something like very important for all improvement initiatives. Something like all sportsmen do one activity every day. They go for regular jogging or walking. 5 years is something like jogging, walking. So we have to practice 5 years. Even now, the 5 years will be become 6 years or 7 years in COVID scenario. We have to add sanitizing and social distancing. Yes, safety. We can add here. But when originally Toyota used it 5 years, then 5 years become 6 years, including safety. Then people started putting other yeses. So these are you can customize to suit your organizational requirements. Then Toyota used 4P model. They take all the decision based on long-term thinking. They will not take decision on short term. And then they will focus on process to identify and eliminate waste. They respect, challenge, and grow peoples and partners. And then problem solving. Problem solving, that is where the continuous improvement and the learning comes. All the tools and techniques you are learning in this online certification program, that will take care of your problem solving activities. So let us come to lean. So lean is a management philosophy which shortens the time between the customer order and product shipments. Normally what happens, customer places the order, then you deliver the order, say it takes 10 days. If you look at these 10 days, you will see a lot of waste in the process, unevenness, and overload on the people. Japanese call it Muda, Muri, and Mura. So once you identify and eliminate these 3 M's, your lead time will be decreased. You can see in this presentation, because of 3M, the lead time is more here. Now after removing or minimizing waste, your lead time is decreased. You can even deliver the product within 3 days. Lot of places this is happening. Knowingly and unknowingly, all the companies are doing lean management. So what makes a system lean? Muda, Muri, and Mura. We have to eliminate this waste, inconsistency, and unreasonableness. We have to eliminate. Once you do this, you will become a lean organization. I will tell you how to do it. But as a management students, you use balance sheets, profit and loss account. Where do you place inventory? What is your answer? In balance sheet, where do you put inventory?
Sir, liability.
Liability or inventory is in liability or in assets? When you close the balance sheet, where do you put inventory?
Assets.
We put it in asset.
Sir.
Okay, but okay, it will be appearing on the asset side. But in lean organization, we say it is a waste. It is not a asset. In traditional organization, they run large batches. But in lean organization, make one and move one. In traditional organization, they will produce the product to forecast. They don't know exactly next month customer how many products need. But these people say last year the customer bought 20. So this year also definitely it will be 20. They produce and keep. But in lean company, the moment they receive the customer order, then only they will start producing. Something like Dell is an excellent lean supply chain. You go and order your PC, customize, you pay your money. After receiving payment from you, they will place order for the raw material and other thing. Traditional work groups. There are functional department in traditional organization, something like finance, marketing, sales, quality, maintenance, HR, all departments are there. But in lean organization, people call it cross-functional teams. people from different functional area come together and solve the problem. Quality. After making the product, somebody goes and inspects and say product is good or not. That is what happening in traditional organization. In lean organization, your process, product and services are designed to eliminate errors. That is where people make use of concept something like mistake proofing. So when you look at lean definition, lean is a systematic approach to identify Mura value added activities and the non-valued activities, and continuously finding out, eliminating and minimizing the non-value added activities, unevenness and overburden, and produce and supply the product to meet the customer requirements. This is called lean. And lean is customer and market driven. We have to satisfy the customer and we have to satisfy the market. So we call it Lean Six Sigma. Everything starts with the customer and ends with the customer. So lean is customer and market driven. That's why the heartbeat of lean is nothing but takt time. Takt time is the heartbeat of lean. And there are 5 principles when we look at lean. The lean principles are identify the value from the customer perspective. What customer value, what customer does not value. So identify and specify the value from the customer perspective. Then identify value stream. All the activities currently you carry out the product or service. That is called the value stream. Something you are working in a bank, somebody wants loan, they come and give you the application. Right from the receiving the application to sanctioning the loan or rejecting the loan, whatever activities you do, that will call value stream. Value stream captures both information and material flow, both it will capture. And then once you identify all the activities currently carried out to produce the product, identify what activities are value added, what activities are not value added. Something, I received that bank loan application, I studied it, I gave it to the respective officer for evaluation. The officer goes on leave for 2 days. The third day he comes and opens the file, spends some 10 minutes and tells, okay, here value added time is only 10 minutes. But what is the total process time? It becomes 2 days and 10 minutes. Here the 2 days is waste. 2 days is the unnecessary wasting time. Then the lean team will think about how can I reduce the 2 days unnecessary waiting time. So identify the waste and eliminate or minimize the waste, which will make the product and process flow seamlessly, and produce product only after receipt of the customer demand. Don't produce and keep anything in inventory. Inventory is sleeping money. And keep on eliminating the waste. It is an ongoing process. Suppose today, from experience, I used to take 120 days to overhaul and repair Allison aircraft engines. Then we did all value stream mapping, identify the value added activity, non-value added activity, carried out improvement. We brought it down to 108 days. Then don't stop at 108 days. Again, do the same exercise. Apply all the 5 principles. You can bring it down to 30 days, 40 days. It may not happen over time at one go. Maybe 2-3 value streams you will draw. Whenever you do a current state value stream mapping, immediately you should go and draw future state value stream mapping. So you have current state value stream mapping. If you don't have your future state value stream mapping, it's of no use. So what is lean in process? Velocity is maximized, lead time is minimized, and 3Ms are minimized or eliminated. Okay, let us look at deeply what is 3M. Muda means waste. Any activity that consume resources but does not create value for customers. You are producing a product and the product height is say 10 mm is the product height. If you take this this thing, the height of the product is say 10 centimeter. After manufacturing, I got it was 10.5 centimeter. Then you go and do some rework to eliminate to remove the 0.5 centimeter. You put manpower and you do rework. Okay. Here customer will pay only once for manufacturing the 10 centimeter height. That 0.5 centimeter you are removing, putting material, they will not pay for that. You are with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So whatever activity adds values to the customer, that is called value added activity. The next one is Mura. Variation in the operations not caused by the end customer. I will make you understand in the next slide. And the third M is overburden on the people, equipment and machine. See, one day you can work for 10 hours, 2 days you can work for 10 hours. If every day, if you are working for 10 hours, 10 hours, one day you will become basic, you say, I don't want this job. That is called overburden. Machine, you are operating the machine without giving adequate maintenance, keep on running, one day it will break down. Even AC at your home, once in a time it has to go for some kind of maintenance. Service, yes. If you don't do that, that machine will be overburdened, one day it will stop working. Stress is another thing. You keep on accumulating the stress in your body, that overburden, one day you will break down. So how to avoid this? This, if you look at this picture, you will understand all the 3M very easily. Waste, you know, anything which does not add value, straight away identify, and there are 8 types of waste mainly people talk about. I will tell you what are the 8 types of waste in a short while from now. Identify the waste and remove the waste. Muri, unreasonable burden on people and machines. If you tell one guy to carry this much load, how many days he will carry? One day he will fall down and break. Look at this. Customer is ready to pay for 2 people to carry the load. So customer is paying for 2 people. But while carrying the load, who is carrying more load?
Only one person.
This one person. So here customer is paying for 2 people, but this guy is paying the bearing the more load. It should come to the center. So this unlevel workload is caused on the people, on the machine by the organization, not by the customer. If you can remember this picture, you will be able to tell what is 3M in any interview. At most people will ask, tell me what is waste, what is Muri. You can tell him, sir, can I give the answer with an example? Something like one man carrying, I can lift only 10 kg. Somebody is asking me to lift 15 kg. It will be overload on me. I will break down. So we can give these kind of examples to, if you are not able to give proper definition, you can give your answer with the help of any kind of examples where the interviewer can appreciate and understand the concept. So to become a lean organization, you have to identify and eliminate waste. One waste is rework, which I already spoke. The second waste is overproduction. Customer wants 10 unit. You are manufacturing 12 unit, and after production you came to know that 2 units are having some problem. It has to undergo some rework. What you say to satisfy the customer? Already you have 10 good product. Send the 10 good product to the customer, and the 2 bad quality product, you will keep it in the store. You keep on doing it for say 10 days. 10 days, every day 12 products into 10, 120 product you produced and delivered to the customer was 100. 11th day customer is coming and telling you, I am going to make a design change. Tomorrow onwards don't supply. It is happening in all the organization, I am telling you. Okay. Then what would you do with the 20 defective product? You can rework and make it all right. Now customer is not going to buy your product. So imagine you are selling one product for 100 rupees. How much money you made? 100 into 100. How much? 100 into 100. How much money you made? Revenue to your organization?
10,000.
10,000.
10,000. Okay. Then after 10 days, customer is telling there is a design change. How many quantities you have it in your stock?
20.
So
20.
20. Okay. So by selling for 10,000 rupees, you are making say 10% profit, which means profit for the company for the 10 days is 1,000 rupees. Okay. After 10 days, when customer says there is a design revision, you are going to scrap all the 20 quantity in your store. Then 20, hello? This 20 into another 100, how much it comes? 2,000 rupees worth product you are going to scrap. Okay. If you scrap it, what is your profit? Does the company make profit or incur loss?
Incur loss.
Incur loss of
Incur
1,000
loss.
rupees.
1,000 rupees.
So this is, yes, this is what happening in all the companies. They produce more, something like customer want 10, I will produce only 10. Out of 10, 2 product become bad quality product. What I will do? Immediately go and correct those 10 bad quality product, make it right quality and send it to the customer. Correct? You will take action immediately. That's why we call overproduction is mother of all waste. If you attack this overproduction, all the waste will disappear. No scrap will come, no rejection will come, no inventory will come. So mother of all waste is overproduction. Inventory. Inventory is a dead money. Motion. Unnecessary movement of the people. I am doing one process in this place. During the process, I want some tools. Maybe screwdriver or spanner or whatever it may be. You walk for 200 meters, go to the tool room and get the tool and start your work. This 200-meter walking and 200 meters up and down, total 400 meters that operator is walking unnecessarily, which causes delay in the process. That is called motion. Processing. Customer wants something, you have manufactured the product. After manufacturing the product, you are cleaning to make the customer happy. Polish unnecessarily. To satisfy the customer, sometimes we do over processing. Sometimes we are doing over processing. Over processing is also waste. Transport. I am doing 2 activities during the production process. Cut the material, paint the material. To make you understand better. The part cutting is taking place in one place. Painting takes place in another place 500 meters away from the work spot. Which means this part after cutting process has to go to the painting shop 500 meters, get it painted, again travel 500 meters and come back. So unnecessarily the part is traveling 1 kilometer. This is called waste. In lean we say part is cut here, do near the nearby place only the painting. Unnecessary movement of the part between various processes is called transportation waste, waiting. Like I quoted that example of calling the Airtel telephone executive, waiting to get the response, waiting waste. And now people talk about unutilized human potential. You are capable of doing more things, but if the company is not giving you the opportunity, which means I am not utilizing the available human potential. So now people added the eighth waste called unutilized human potential. So once you eliminate all the waste, sometimes some of the waste you cannot eliminate, you can only minimize. Then organization can save money. You are with me? Hope you understood all the eight waste.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Please.
Sir, previously you mentioned about pressure. So, sir, some cases pressure is also important. So, how do we define how much pressure is healthy pressure?
See, pressure in the sense, see, you join any organization, there will be pressure on people. Pressure on people to perform the activity, it would be there. We are talking about human being only, correct? You are talking about
Yes,
human
sir.
pressure only, okay.
Yes, sir.
So, some kind of pressure will be there, okay. Suppose, you know, this activity will take 20 days to complete. If your manager is putting pressure on you to complete the activity within one single day, in a single day, how many hours you have? You have only 24 hours. 4
Yes,
hours.
sir.
Okay. As per labor law or this thing, people say work for 8 hours. Okay. Or stretch up to 12 hours, that is okay. If your manager says, I want it tomorrow, if it is a war-like situation, one time you can do it. You can sacrifice the sleep, you can do it. If your manager does this for, say, 3 times, 4 times in a week, what would happen? You will end up in losing your sleep. You will increase your body pressure level, which will in turn increase your blood sugar level. So a healthy person would become an unhealthy person. So,
Uh,
so in this place, let me complete. Okay, you have to stand up in the system and tell your manager, I cannot take overload and work. Otherwise, you keep on doing more work, more work. One day you will break down and die. The company will not come and save your family. Please trust me. Hello? Sanchita,
Yes, sir.
can I answer your question? Hello?
Yes, sir. Sir, this is Satyadru.
Okay.
Sir, I have another question.
Okay.
Sir, as you mentioned in Toyota just-in-time manufacturing, sir, if in just-in-time manufacturing, if the manufacturing time is more and the waiting time is less, in that situation, we can't always go for just-in-time.
Just in time again is based on the company requirement. Suppose if the material is coming from a nearby, say 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer supplier, you can ask them to deliver it. Suppose if you are procuring this material from abroad, then you cannot tell them send one pieces by air. That time you have to decide what is the optimal batch size. You can take a call on that. That's why application of the lean, it will be customized to suit organizational requirements. Hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
See, something like there is no one silver bullet of lean for all the organization. Organization has to customize and see what they want to make money. Do that only. Simply because of sake of doing lean, don't do it.
So it means if we have one method, we can't implement it into every production or like every industry. according to the industry, we have to change.
Little bit
Right?
customized. Yes, yes, yes. See, when I say make one and move one,
Mhm.
in Nokia, while doing the project, there are 10 processes while assembling the phone. There is one process we told people to maintain minimum 4 quantity. We called it here single piece is 4 quantity. We gave the definition. Between all processes, it is only one single piece. On one particular process, we told people always keep 4 phones here and call it a single piece. We gave the definition of 4 pieces in one single process as a single piece. Why? Because all other processes are taking some 20 seconds. This particular process takes only 5 seconds. So by the moment this guy complete 5 seconds, the previous process would take 20 seconds to give the input. Then this guy would be waiting for 15 seconds. To avoid that, we intentionally design that production line, keep always 4 phone there so that this guy will not be idle. In lean, when we talk about, it's good that you brought up this question, Satru, Sabhavati.
Yes, sir.
Satruvati. Okay. In Toyota, they always say, machine can wait for man. Man should not wait for machine. They say let any machine wait for man, no problem. But man should not be idle for want of machines and material. Keep this in mind while answering any interview question. It's okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I hope you all are clear at least what are 8 waste. See, if you look at this picture, what is happening here? In lean organization, in any organization you see lot of challenges. Schedule challenge, machine breakdown, people are not trained properly, behavioral problem, defective material from the supplier, poor quality. What do you do? This is similar to the example what I gave you. Customer wanted 10, you produce 12. The 2 extra quantity what you produce is called inventory. If you look at this C, this is the water level. This water level is your inventory. As long as you produce more, all these problem will be put under the C. Your inventory will take care of everything. You produce more and keep it. So to identify the problem, you have to remove the water. Once you remove the water, these rocks will appear. After removing the water, I mean, don't produce 12 quantity, produce only 10. After 10, 2 becomes problem. Then you will identify there is a poor quality in 2 quality product. 2 products, quantity 2 products. Go and rework the product and give it to the customer without having any inventory. The day after 10th day, when your customer says there is no more order, you need not to worry about your profit because you don't have any inventory. So you remove this inventory, I mean the water here, and remove the rocks. That is what lean management companies are doing. What other companies are doing, more water here, ship will have that safe sailing distance and you sail the boat. You are keeping more inventory, those companies will not sustain. So I spoke about this. What is value added activities? What is non-value added activities? Value added activities are those that customer is ready to pay for. Non-value added activities like transportation, movement of part, waiting, buffer, that customer is not willing to pay for. Why should customer bear the cost of reworking the product? You produce it wrong, you bear the cost. So ideally, if you look at any process, that will have both value added activities and non-value added activities. this yellow and light green color. So what you should do, only 5% of your time is value added activity. 95% of the time, these are non-value added activities. So you have to think, how can I minimize the waste? Instead of, don't concentrate much on value added activity, because here if you go and do much improvement, only you are working only on the 5%. But if you work here, you are working on the 95%. So always focus on reducing the waste first. You reduce the waste now, then you think about value added activity. Can I reduce the time taken to value added activity? First, focus on identifying and eliminating the waste, or the 3M. To do that, we make use of the tool called value stream mapping. That is huge topic. If you want me to take it, that will take a day to understand the 10 steps of value stream mapping. So in lean transformation, what happens? Skills and capability of the people will improve. First, willingness to change. Then you will have a positive attitude. You will learn 5 S. Then you said Kanban. Kanban is another tool. Then formation of the cell type to meet the customer requirement, which I have shown in my case study. And the multi-skilling of the people. One person will do production, the same guy will do maintenance as well. Multi-skilling. And do Kaizen events. It could be a 5-day event, 1-day event, or half-day event. You do it and get it. Once you do all these things, you will become expertise in lean. And human assets appreciate in value over time. The only asset appreciate over time was human being. See, machines, after say you buy a car, 15 years life, every year there is a depreciation. Your value of car will come down year after year. However, you have 10 years experienced guy, you want 10 lakh rupees. You want 15 years experienced guy, you want 20 lakhs rupees. Your value will keep on increasing over the time. That's why we always say the human assets are the only appreciating asset in any organization. So focus on human asset. So that's why respect for individual is very, very important in the lean management. So these are the few lean tools I have given. 5 S, now we call it 6 S, include safety also. It is mandatory in COVID time. Training the people. Kanban is another tool, just in time. Total productivity improvement is another tool. Something like to making a tool change, moving the machine from to manufacture one product to other product. Earlier they used to take many hours. By using a tool like SMED, single minute exchange of die, people brought it to 9 seconds, 9 minutes, 8 minutes. But it did not take place over time. So today I am taking 10 hours to do the changeover, do some improvement, make it 8 hours. Then take some time, after 6 months, do some more improvement, reduce that say 5 hours to 1 hour. So we keep on doing number of Kaizen events. After 5 or 10 Kaizen events, maybe 5 or 6 years down the line, it will come under 10 minutes. That is what people call it a single minute exchange of die. That too, it is applicable for all the organizations and different type of cellular manufacturing. Kaikaku I spoke about, radical change, Kaizen, small doable things, automation I spoke, Pokkayoko I spoke, and lot of other tools are here. And on takt time is the heartbeat of lean organization. Line balancing, lot of tools are there. I suggest you at least you go through 5 years, is mandatory. Know about takt time, know about SMED, and know more about mistake proofing. If you know some 5-6 tools, it will be sufficient for you to talk in the interview. Definitely people would ask you about what is value stream mapping. Because it is a big topic that cannot be covered in 1 hour. how to draw a value stream mapping, current state value stream mapping, how to design the future state value stream mapping. That is a little bit big exercise. But to begin with, this should be perfect. So these are the few tools. So lean transformation in a nutshell, to conclude, you will reduce the cycle time and lead time, and definitely it will bring quality improvement and customer satisfaction, and you will reduce the inventory. Inventory is the sleeping money in your organization, dead money. You can reduce the inventory, you can improve the inventory turn ratio by doing this, and you will become a world class organization. With this, I conclude the session. I think we are on time. I think by 12:15 or 12:20 we can close. Do you have any questions? Hello? Any questions?
No, sir.
What about others? I am not hearing from others. Are there in the if there is no questions, I will move to case study. So as I mentioned, I will pick somebody random today to talk about case study. Let me pick somebody who is not there in the. Is there any volunteer? Anybody want to talk about the case study, or can I pick someone? Team? So okay, I will pick somebody.
Sir, you can pick some.
I can pick. Okay. So ladies first. Okay. We'll go to girls now. So they will you will give the opportunity to girls. Okay. Okay, Sindhamil will go. Sindhamil, can you tell us the summary of the case study?
So I read half of the case study. Can you hear me, sir?
Okay. I am hearing you. What about others?
So the case,
Yes, sir, we are hearing.
so the case study is about world's largest mobile manufacturing plant, and the case study is about how they implemented small production order management. And this manufacturing plant has exports for more than 80 countries. So the problems faced by this manufacturing plant is that they had most of their things in in their company was underutilized. For example, there was okay, so they had the small orders and big orders in their company were getting mixed up, and most of the finished goods were mixed up, and everything was getting unutilized. So they came up with an objective uh, to dedicate a cell allocation to them, like specifically, and plan the orders and modify their trolleys and to finish goods movement to shipping area faster. So
Okay, Sanchita, what are the benefits we got out of this case study? Out of this project, I mean. I think we are not.
Hello, you are not audible, Sanjita.
Had breakfast?
Still not audible.
Who is the third girl? Satru. Huh?
Hmm.
Satru is there?
Uh, she'll come in 2 minutes, sir. She had some work.
Hmm. I think she is experiencing some technical problem, I believe.
Not
I think I
audible,
will
Sanjita.
not audible. Okay. Sindhamil. Sindhamil, can you read that benefits from this project?
Yes, sir. One.
You can look at the conclusion part, you can read. Or above conclusion also I have given the benefits.
This. So I'll read the merits of the work, sir.
Okay.
So basically, from this thing, Mura, and Muri were minimized or eliminated, and there was improvement in lead time. In lead time led to met on time in full as per customer requirements, and online quality control failure. The failures were reduced to zero. Total processing time in supermarket production and shipping were reduced. Number of product changeovers and product changeover time was reduced. Material mismatches during knitting and production were eliminated. Finished goods mix-up in the sales and shipping were avoided. Underutilization of the 480 pieces of finished goods pallets for carrying 6 pieces in shop floor were also eliminated. And the underutilization of the 480 pieces shipping racks to so 60 pieces were also eliminated. And the underutilization of 960 pieces material trolleys to carry 60 pieces, this was also eliminated. And searching for master cartons, top floor and shipping areas were also eliminated, and there was effective utilization of available resources.
Okay. I will give you the summary. Thanks, Sindhamil. Okay. I will tell you why did I take up the project. This was my first project in Nokia. When I joined as a continuous improvement manager, I was going through the shop floor walk. There was lot of problem in the shop floor. There was two order from one supplier from USA. One product quantity is 9,999. The another product was one quantity. Put together total 10,000. Okay. 9,999 is ready for dispatch. These people produce that one quantity, but where they kept this one quantity, it is not known. So, see, we have to dispatch on time in full. We have to dispatch all the 10,000. Just because of this one phone shortage, we will not be able to make the shipment. If you don't do it, there will be a penalty on Nokia. Because Nokia, we take money and produce the phone. We take money advance from the customers. Then there was lot of tension in the shop floor. Then I saw, what is this, man? 9,919 phones are there. Just one phone is making this much thing. Then people are telling, if you don't do this, our OTD will be hit. On-time delivery rate will be hit. There will be a penalty on the company. Brand name will get impacted. Then I don't know what to do. Because every day we used to make 5.5 lakhs phone. Close to 6 lakh phone every day we are manufacturing. 11,000 operators. You can imagine how big the factory was. On big shipping. Shipping racks are very huge where we can keep 460 phones. Big pallet we keep. So if that big shipping rack where you can keep 460 phones pallet, if you keep one phone, just imagine. In a big place, we are keeping only one small thing. If it fall down also, we don't know. Then later on, I thought, why is this problem? Then I called Dongo and China factory and asked them, do you have this kind of problem? They said, yes, Manikandan, nowadays we are getting lot of small orders, we are having this problem. Then I spoke to Finland. They said, yes, we are also experiencing the problem. Then I gave the proposal, can we start a project involving all the Nokia factories? I will lead the project. It became a global project. I was the leader of the project. Then we gathered the data of all the production orders for past few months and did a study. There we came to know close to 13-14% of the orders were less than 60 pieces. These orders are treated as a regular order of 960 pieces and processed. Something like this. My one production line can produce 9,000 phones per day. Okay. Change over time, say 20 minutes, one product to other product. Now these people order 20 product, 20 phones, one model, produce these 20 phones, stop the line for 20 minutes for product changeover, then do another 5 product, quantity 5. So every day they started losing lot of productivity time in changeovers. But these orders are very, very small. Then we thought, you have a production line to manufacture 9,000 phones per day. Why are you using this big line for small orders? Then industrial engineering team came out with the concept, can I make a small production line where we put only 4 people? Instead of 9 people, we put only 4 people. Let these 4 people produce 10, 20, anything less than 60. The small production line will produce. So big production line will remain undisturbed. Then when we went to shipping, big racks, we are keeping 60 phones, 70 phones, whereas we can keep 460, 70 phones. That much order was, place was underutilized. Then we came out with the concept small pawn racks. Small racks you make, you keep it there. Don't make big racks. Then shipping machine, big machine which can wrap 460 phones. That big machine was used to wrap 1 phones, 10 phones, 30 phones. 4 people, 5 people used to work. Then we thought small phone packing, can we make one guy small packing machine so that the bigger line will remain undisturbed. So we did lot of things. Then it became a very good project. Here I did not use much Six Sigma tools. I used only lean tools. I have given in the case study how much time we reduced, how much rework we reduced. Everything is given in the case study. So whatever theory you saw, the 3M, how we attack this 3M is given in the case study. It is applicable to any hospital. If you are going to any hospital, your turnaround time, go, give blood, wait for the blood test, meet the doctor, come back. How many hours it takes? How can we minimize the patient turnaround time? Similarly, I quoted something about the bank loan processing time. So wherever you go, whatever you do, waste will be there. And 95% of the activities are non-value added activity. Identify, eliminate and minimize the non-value added activity. Even today, people are telling a quality inspector is coming and doing the inspection is a non-value added activity, which we cannot eliminate unless your process is mistake proof to produce good quality product. You cannot eliminate inspection. Here inspection is a unavoidable waste. We have to keep it with that. So this is what all about lean foundation. So at least remember what is lean: systematic way of identifying, eliminating or minimizing the 3 M's, and know about some tools. Today Toyota opens, anybody can go and visit Toyota and come back. They tell these are the tools we use. But why other companies are not becoming Toyota? The problem is culture. Yesterday when I opened the session, to achieve the vision, doing and being. Doing, anybody can learn and do it. Being part, that behavior, values, that we cannot develop over time. That's why companies like Tata Group, they measure say-do ratio, SAY and do. Say-do ratio they measure. Suppose you are telling tomorrow I will complete 10 activities, you completed only 7, which means you have not done 3 activities. Then your say-do ratio will become 70%. So say-do ratio is a measure of your behaviors. So that's why I put more emphasis on behavior part. Once behavior is set right, tools can be learned and implemented by everybody. Then there is another concept called lean behaviors. How should a manager behave with his team to nurture lean management? That is a different topic. To begin with, I think these inputs are sufficient to you. I have got one more slide to show for the day.
Sir, I have a question from the case study.
Please.
Sir, in the sixth part, value of the project to the company and its customer, some innovations are made. I2V concept is mentioned there. Can you explain more
Yes.
about that I2V?
Exactly. Yeah, I2V nothing but it's a behavior. See, most of the time when we do improvement, we used to say, I only do it, I only do it. If I say, I am doing this project only in Chennai factory, say I mean Chennai factory is doing it, Chennai factory is doing it. When I put I2V means all other Nokia factories. Instead of focusing on me, it is we, collective wisdom. Since I involved all the Nokia factories, I put it is from Nokia Chennai to Nokia corporate here. That is why we use the word I2V.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the production layout where we had a 120 production line were there. This is the big production line where we can manufacture 9,000 phones. This place we put 5 phones, 6 phones, 7 phones, and we were losing the day. Then we came out with small production line, some 8 lines, put some 4 people. Instead of 9 people, 12 people, you put only 4 people to manage this. Any change over here that will not affect my daily output. And the order comes, now you see the picture. Look at this picture, something will come, some animation will come. Move small trolleys to sell. Okay. The green color, you saw it now?
Yes, yes.
The green color. You are moving small pan trolleys to the cell. Instead of big trolleys, go small pans will go only to this line. It was controlled through Kanban production monitoring system. Then after production, load the material for all small pan in special trolleys, not in 960 trolley. For 5 phones, 10 phones, 6 phones, we designed a special trolley. The photo was given in the case study. You move it, that will come. Then do the production. Order came, material came, do the production here only. So after production, right side top, move back the small trolley to shipping. See, the green is moving and go to the shipping. Once it goes to shipping, this will be processed as a small order. One person will pack instead of 5-6 people standing in the machine and packing big pallets. And we had a small silicon rocks that was mentioned in the case study photo is there, that will be stored there. Because of this, we avoided this problem in all mobile phone manufacturing. It took many months, lot of investment too. So by applying this concept, we eliminated and minimized muri, transportation, motion, defects and rework. In fact, defects become 0, then rework becomes 0, inventory is reduced, waiting time and over processing was not done. So these are the benefits we got in summary. I think Senthamil nicely summarized these points while giving the summary of the case study. If you have any questions, we can open. Otherwise, we can close the session for today. Tomorrow, I will take you through Six Sigma and Lean Six Sigma. Over to the organizer, Kunal.
Yes, sir. If any of us have a question, please ask. Otherwise, we can close the meeting.
Fine. Then, if there are no questions, then we can call for the day.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, team. Thank you for the cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you for this.